As banks consider HR risk, I think the board of directors need to consider 4 perspectives. The first perspective is the strategic perspective. Where are we at today? Where do we want to go tomorrow? And do we have the people in place today to fuel our future? The second perspective is the operational perspective. When we consider our process, our procedures, our policies, are we as efficient as we can to maximize utilization of resources, particularly today when we're working with a smaller group of employees in many cases? The third would be the financial perspective. As we consider those larger line item expenses, are we being as efficient and as cost effective as possible? Are we managing our compensation from a base compensation, annual incentive, midterm incentives, long-term incentives, executive compensation, related benefits, turnover costs, as well as the retention costs? What investments are we making there? And not even to mention the recruiting aspect. What does it take to bring talent into our places of business today? And then finally, the fourth would be internal customer. Are we creating an environment and a culture that attracts, retains, rewards, and encourages people to bring their hearts, their minds, and their energy to our organizations? In order for bank boards to really understand their HR portfolio risk, I encourage them to engage in measurement and to take that step back and cast a critical eye at how the human resources, human capital, talent management, whatever the phraseology is that you're using in your organization to ensure it's meeting your needs and expectations. You can do that by conducting a human resources review. Segment various aspects of your HR function and ensure that the policies, procedures, practices, and approaches are aligned with intent. And if they're not aligned with intent, it gives you the opportunity to take that step back and evaluate what is it that we aren't doing today that we really need to be doing tomorrow to be most effective. In particular, I would encourage the board to give close consideration to organizational structure, role, and responsibility. As organizations grow and evolve, so must their organizational structure. And as such, jobs can become fragmented, people may not be aligned, and there can be misunderstanding in terms of actual role and responsibility, causing delays, inefficiency, drops in communication, and delayed decision making. I think it's also important to look at the performance management and coaching piece. As we look towards tomorrow and all the goals and objectives that we have and the incoming labor market, the labor team that we have, new employees, what are we doing to help them target areas of concentration and focus so they can perform at their greatest level of ability? And of course, always we want to reward and compensate our employees for the efforts they push forward. So we're going to want to unpack how is our compensation system relative to the market? Are we competitive? Are we leading, lagging, meeting the market? What are we doing to recognize the accomplishments that our employees have? And are we making the investments in our employees through learning and development activities to help not only fuel their future, but to ensure the jobs that we have in place today are the right jobs with the right talent, with the right information, right knowledge, skills, and abilities to execute? With an unemployment rate of 3.8%, we need to be focused, we need to be concentrated, and we need to be proactive and intentional in our efforts. In many ways, I encourage banks to partner with marketing. Marketing and HR can work very effectively together. Where marketing is looking to target and influence and brand to the external market, we can also leverage that same skill set to target and brand and market to our internal employees and those we wish to attract. So therefore, anything we can do to capitalize on what differentiates us from the competitor in terms of our learning and development programs, in terms of the opportunities, succession, career pathing, all of those elements, we need to concentrate on that.